Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 5v5 custom match here on the most amazing Neuroxys map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. Starting off with Team 1 on the northwestern side of the map, then with Team 2 on the southeastern side of the map. Take a look at Team 1's Western player. We have in Royal Blue, it is SiriusSeven. He's playing as a UEF for this match as an 800. And then rounding off the more Frontline for Team 1 in Emerald Green, it is Saipier playing as a Seraphim. He is a 1700. Moving on to the northwest corner with a lot of scribbling going down, it is Hirschy playing as an Aeon in Pack Manual as an 1800. He is the highest rated player on Team 1 and in the game overall. To his east, we have in Rust, it is HoppeBoi playing as a UEF. He is a 900. And then rounding off the northeastern side, we have in Regal Purple as an Aeon, it is JomniJaven. He is a 1400. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have 2 UEF, 0 Siren, 2 Aeon, and then 1 Seraphim. So only missing out on that Cyber technology. Starting off with Team 2's Western player, we have in orange color orange, it is Zewerewef. Werewolf, maybe? I don't know. He is a Cybern. He is a 900. And in Chevy Crimson, blending in with his environment quite nicely, it is Jamaker. He is a 1500. He's actually in a 3-way tie for the highest rated player on his team. And again, he is a 1500. Moving eastward, we have in Blood Angel Red, it is Roscoe, 400, playing as a Cybern. He is not a 400. In fact, he's actually a 1400. So maybe he needs to add another 1 into that name. And then to his north, we have in Batman Gray, it is Millenwise playing as a Seraphim. He is a 1500, tied with Jamaker, and then 1 other player for Team 2's highest rated players. And rounding off Team 2 is that other player. It is Babel. He's playing as UEF in Light Octane as a 1500, tied with Jamaker and Millenwise for the highest rated players on their team. And for Team 2's side of the map, they have 1 UEF, 2 Cybern, 0 Aeon, and then 2 Seraphim. Which means Team 2 is missing out on the Aeon tech, Team 1 is missing out on the Cybern tech, but no faction is missing out on this game because everybody is present one way or the other. And for this 10-player game, let's take a look at the reclaim situation, currently sitting at 10,000 mass, which makes it easy. 1,000 mass per player, and the majority of that reclaim has, it's already down to actually 8,000, which is pretty quick. Most of it kind of resides on this more northeastern chunk of the map. We saw a huge wreck clump there, and then we saw another one there, and I would assume, of course, mirrored on the eastern side. We already have a gun upgrade started here for Team 1. Looks like it's going to be for Sirius. Maybe going to be assisted by Hirschy. It is going to be assisted by Hirschy. And then in current terms of additional mexes on the map, we'll take a look at Team 2 side this game. There is a 5-star mech position in the background here that looks like Babel has grabbed Trimex's position on the western side, Trimex's position on the eastern side. And that's honestly, bar a couple of one-offs, that's about it in terms of the mexes, not only on Team 2 side of the map, but just, again, extra additional whatever on the map. There's really not a whole lot. I'd say these are the only ones not really in a good way here for either team at this point, because they're kind of just, well, they're there, and one player may get them, one player may not get them. We'll just have to see. We do see a couple of naval units online for Team 1's Jomni is going after the Seraphim facility for Team 2. A couple of Aurora have come to say hi as well. So some pseudo-naval units. Looks like he's going to try to build a sub, but that's going to take a minute, and I don't think he's going to finish it in time. So Team 1 will win Navy on that northeastern side. I don't know if it's really worth it. Maybe we have cruiser missile tech to try to show stuff onto Millenwise's base, but honestly, it's not kind of worth it. This northeastern corner has nothing of value, but now we see a UEF one being built. Okay, see, now that is worth it with the cruiser, with missile tech and whatnot. We do see Team 2's Millenwise is on Team 1 side of the map, so in terms of comm distribution, well, there's one of them on Team 1 side of the map, technically, but it's 2v3 in favor for Team 2 if the 2 comms do push in. And then on the western side, it's 2v2. No advantage there. We also see that Babel is hanging back for now. And I missed somebody? I don't think so. But Team 2's Millenwise losing a lot of hit points to all of these mech marines. And looks like there's a nice little flare there. The Calm of Jomni is here. Bombers are inbound from at least 2 players. He's going to drop into the red. He needs to stop dilly-dallying and get in the pond, get underneath the surface because he is taking lots of damage. Bombers are inbound. Drops him to 1,300. We do see Roscoe's inbound. No gun. Jamaker has speed and T2 on board. Sorry, that's gun speed and range because he is a Seraphim, not an Aeon. Couple of a Magpie during summer and Infinity are nearby, I guess. Jomni's going to pop into the water as well. And where's the other player for Team? Oh, he's here. I just missed him. Okay, it is a 3v2 in favor for Team 1. I thought it was a 2v2, but I misappropriated one of the players on Team 1 to Team 2, so apologies for that. Roscoe's taking a lot of damage here from the Aurora. That's never fun to be just focus fired by somebody. And he's going to pop back into the water, and then Millenwise is going to pop out of the water. He's severely hurt. That attack from Team 2 didn't really go maybe the way that he thought. We do see Gun is upgrading here for Werewolf, and it's again 3 players. Sirius has gun, Saipier has gun, Hirschy has gun, speed, and range on board. So that's not fun for Babel. It's going to be a 3v1 affair, and he's going to be killed off almost immediately in this game. Not even 10 minutes on the clock. Zewerewef, I would assume that's his name, is done a little bit of damage to Hirschy's comp, but that is a technically kill from Team 1 to Team 2 side of the map. Babel control Cade, but that counts as a kill. And again, 3-1 advantage now at this point. And I think Werewolf is not looking up. I'm adding an R in there, but it looks like Werewolf, so my brain's just saying it like it's Werewolf. And Babel pointing out about the base down there. It's T2 airs already online. Looks like Januses are being built. Team 1 is going aggressive, and then there goes Zewerewef to Hirschy. We kind of knew that was going to happen. There was some hope he might get to the pond, but with the gun online here for Hirschy, speed and range on board, it just wasn't likely. Janus are inbound from Team 2's Millenwise now, and Millenwise has double base currently, with Roscoe having double base as well. We do see Team 2's doing decently well in pushing into Team 1's territory, with HoppeBoi on the north trying to go after that naval facilities, which are being denied, at least the HoppeBoi units are. And Saipier is getting hit by fire, same as Sirius here. It looks like it's just going to be inflict as much damage as you can before you get killed off. A couple of gunships are online from Roscoe to assist, and more of them are coming online all the time. Again, it is a 5v3 in favor for Team 1. Roscoe, Janus, says Babel, and go T3 air now. He's probably thinking by the time those comms get somewhat in safer territory, one of them's going to die. T3 air is online for Hirschy, which does explain him kind of falling into the water a little bit sooner. Still more gunships. Looks like he really wants to deal with the invasion from Team 1. And Saipier's also getting hit as well. Gunships, again, were not able to save the base, but it was going to be a long shot anyways. And Sirius is up to 2-star vet. We do see some flak nearby. That's actually being targeted right now. Definitely a smart move there, eliminating the stuff that can shoot at you in the air. Sirius dropping hit points decently quick. He has a couple more gunships to kill off, and he's going to be fine. But that Janus isn't going to help things, and I think this actually might be... Oh, no, it's not a kill, and looks like targeting priorities switch over to Saipier, which is interesting. Again, Sirius is going to get hit as well here. He gets some veterancy and dies. That's what happens near the end of a player's life for whatever reason. They just get a chunk of veterancy or whatever. But that is it. Team 1 loses their first player of the game at 11 minutes, and in a 10-player game at 11 minutes, we've lost 3 players. We have 7 left. That'd be even crazier if there were 7 players dead at 11 minutes. That'd be nuts. A very fast-paced game. The caster would definitely miss a whole bunch of stuff at that point. And it looks like the base goes over to Saipier there. We do see invasions from the east from Jamaker. T2 missile and gun online for him, starting to push in on the eastern front. Team 1 starting to defend, get a little bit of some shielding, PD and whatnot for HoppeBoi and Jomni. And it looks like the HoppeBoi is still not successful from Team 2. Still Team 1 naval facilities though. But they are able to build another facility and get it almost up to T2 tech. They might go for destroyer and cruiser mix. which is usually what you do at T2 Tech. And again, those subs do have, sorry, those destroyers do have sub capabilities, able to hide under the surface of the water. And with that, we do see now the southern side is going to be under the control of Roscoe. Millenwise has the north, and then Jamaker has the middle, with Saipier having the west side for Team 1. We do see Nano is being built on HoppeBoi's comm. Again, he has drones online with gun, and Jomni has no upgrades except for the sensor package upgrade that's being built for him. Missile is inbound, going to kill off another mech for Team 1. Another missile soon to be inbound. I would imagine T2 TMD is probably going to be built here momentarily. Jamaker still hasn't fired his other missile. When you got those missiles, you got to fire them while you have the chance. Another missile inbound. Oh, don't target forces. That's okay. He's not. That's a T1 max, but it's still some mass a second. It does wipe out a facility in the explosion radius as well. So hey, that's a 2-for-1 combo. Eliminates a little bit of production. Not a lot, but something. And he definitely knew that Team 1 was going to counter him pretty quickly. So he figured, I'll just cut my losses and try to get something online. Nope. Missile was shot down. And Jamaker's kind of hovering between in the water, out of the water, in the water, out of the water kind of scenario. Overcharge still trying to hit those shielding. Does finally pierce one of them. Takes that one offline. Looks like he missed the kill on that nice little blaze that ran by or ran away. And now the comm is inbound to push him back. Western side doesn't look like a lot of comm action yet happening. And again, both teams lost at least one player on the Western front, so they're probably a little bit more concerned with trying to get, eco, teching up, that sort of thing. Team 2, considering it's a 4-3 advantage, still in favor for Team 1, not that far behind in eco, and that's with a main base being offline for the time being. We have engineers from 2 players here just trying to get as much recon out of that base as possible. D3 air online expansions are inbound, and we do see probably T3 land tech out of the base here shortly. We have ASFs over the top of Team 2's base from Team 1. No spy plane, which is interesting. He's just going straight for ASFs. And do we see a bomber? Nope, just ASFs and a spy plane. So he is going to build one shortly, but not really needed if you can just fly over your opponent and just, see the everything. We do see a couple of those ASFs did get shot down from Team 1, and because there is some for Team 2, so it's not an all-out win in air for Team 1. And actually, the trades are going very well for Roscoe. I think it was 6-2 or 6-3 maybe, and now it's 2-2, so nice grabs there. It is Seraphim. Sorry, it's actually UEF versus Aeon. So take that what you will in terms of the types of ASFs being used. Millenwise still recovering from that hit earlier in the game. He's in the yellow now, but not up into the green just yet. We do see the Asylums getting hit pretty hard by those T2 PD emplacements. We have one T2 mechs that is going to be saved. Nice jobs there. We see another attack inbound from Saipier. Again, it is a land and an air player mixed together for Roscoe because he has land forces and air forces. We also have a land player over here for Jamaker, so there's going to be probably a little bit of disjointed teamwork, at least for now, because it's a focus on air, but he's got to go land, and he's got a invasion inbound from Saipier because it's a land and land position for Team 1 over here, so we can easily just focus solely on land versus trying to do the duty of land and air, which I'm kind of surprised by the fact that Roscoe just doesn't give this over to... That's him. Give it over to Jamaker so that way he can get a second base online and start getting some eco. Because currently Roscoe's on triple base, everybody else is on single. We do see the naval forces starting to stack up decently well, obviously augmented by hover tech from Team 2. And HoppeBoi kind of in the middle, not really any support nearby. We do see Jamaker is in the pond still hanging out. That'd be a nice target, taking out our nice little Team 1 radar installation. It is Ilshis versus Mongoose, and I will favor the Ilshis every time of the week. Now there are some flapjacks inbound. There's pillars in the mix, so there are still mainline units here from Team 1. But look at the Ilshis has ripped those pillars apart very quickly. It's just a shooting gallery here for them. And there goes most of that force from Team 1. He does have another one inbound, being led by one sole Percy. If Team 2 goes the more quantity versus quality route, it's going to favor Team 2 eventually if if Team 1 really only builds Hirschys. Yeah, they do a lot of damage per shot, but Team 2 can output a lot of damage very quickly just because there are a lot of units. We do see a nice little broadsword group escorted by some ASFs from Team 2's Roscoe. Looks like he's going after a mechs and some AA trying to be built to counter them, and he's like, nah, no, that's not happening. ASFs are inbound. They killed off one gunship almost immediately. Second gunship's going to get knocked out. And the turns, are they going to get the third one? No, they're not. Looks like all the engineers are being targeted to prevent construction of AA in any regard. And Team 2 still getting hit by that attack. There is a little shield emplacement. There's a couple of PD behind them. But this western base, again, is just not looking good for Team 2. It's getting overrun severely by Team 1. That Percy gets focus fired by all of those T2 Utashalas. There's 4 of them online, and they are honestly, I think, my favorite T2 PD specifically for that. They just rip stuff apart. That gunship, I guess, eventually gets shot down. ASFs get pulled back, and there's now a new little wing, or somewhat of a wing, online for Roscoe. We do see naval fight in the northeast, 20 minutes on the clock. We do see cruisers online, and again, those laser weapons coming to very, very good use with a couple of bombers inbound, some skimmers skimming across the water. And looks like most of them, if not all of them, got shot down. The destroyer, unfortunately, is dead for Team 2. There's a couple of, looks like frigates. That one's actually a destroyer coming off the Astumbia line. There's one Valiant here. Everything else is hover tech, which is kind of nice, kind of not nice for Team 2. It's a lot less DPS for Team 2 to deal with, but again, it's more stuff to shoot at. And with the destroyer now online and the frigates now pursuing that destroyer from Team 1, I think that might be enough of a little bit of a pause on naval action, at least for both teams. More so for Team 1, but Team 2 as well. They probably want to build a couple more destroyers before they go send them out into the wild again. We do have gunships just hanging out and starting to push into the eastern side for Team 1, and they run into a lot of interceptors. Probably not the best move there. Sniper bots get killed. That's unfortunate. T2 P-gens are going to get hit. That's a little bit unfortunate. 1 gunship, 2 gunship, 3 gunship, 4 dead immediately. Again, just ran into a very bad patch of air. A little bit of turbulence there for those gunships. Not really great for them, but they did eliminate a couple of P-gens and a sniper bot. But I think Team 1 got a little bit more mass out of the wrecks of the broadswords than Team 2 destroyed. T3 air headquarters online for HoppeBoi, so he's going to help out in the air department. I don't see an additional air player yet for Team 2, but again, it is 3v4. The land is kind of dying down a bit in terms of the focus for both teams. Looks like primarily Team 2 for now. Again, you have 1, 2, 3 bases under control of Roscoe focusing on air. And then Jamaker. He has T3 land online. He has a couple of units hanging out. Not any T3s yet, it looks like. He's focusing on engineers to get more reclaim and mexes and whatnot. Shield emplacement. And Team 1, how's the eco going? It's in the lead, but not by a terrible amount. We do see now units inbound from Team 2's Hovertech. They did not wait to build up a force. They just sent in whatever they had. And first facility is gone. The Aeon one. The second one, the UEF one, the more valuable of the two because it was at T2. Doesn't look like it's going to be living for much longer. There is that destroyer that is heavily damaged. Hover is actually moving on to land. Team D gets hit, and that's why you got to have a couple of Team D when you deal with the missile launching capable cruisers in this game. We do see T2 Mex is going to get hit pretty hard here. There's the majority of them in the space. T3 P-gens have now been constructed. T2 PD being built now. Probably not the best place to stand given the proximity to the P-gen, but looks like T3 land headquarters is going to get hit here soon. That Mex got hit. That Mex got hit. All the Mexes in this base are now dead. There's the focus on the land headquarters. This is going to be a nice win for Team 2's Millenwise. Again, eliminating at least the T3 land headquarters. Kind of prevents, again, Harbingers and everything else appearing on that eastern front. We have cruisers constantly raining in, and while the ground forces are focusing on the other ground / hovertech forces for Team 2, missiles are coming in, raining in on more mech positions for Team 1. And we have HoppeBoi and Jomni over there dealing with the remaining Yenzine. But that would be a nice grab, killing off that T3 P-gen. We do see, I think, some Team D going to be built here shortly. or AA, or I think, what is that? Is that AA? No, that is AA. I thought that was TMD, but it is not. But it's almost the same thing, right? Shoots at something in the air, right? Isn't that the point? Already? Okay, he has a Strat Bomber online and a Novax that is almost half done. Okay, well, somebody woke up and chose violence today. Spend your mass, Hirschy says Jomni. What's John? I mean, he is starting to spend it now, but he almost completely filled that bar, if not already did, and is starting to spend it to not fill it. But don't want to lose that on the mass, of course. And we have 2 cruisers now here for Team 1. Some missiles do make it through, but not really a whole lot. Looks like it's kind of every other flare grabs them. There's also another one. Oh, they're building. Yeah, it's going to be more than enough. That's not going to be a worry there for Team 1. They built, I think, more than enough at that point, especially with having volcanoes, where volcanoes can flares grab multiple missiles at a time. It is a little bit more than what you need with 2, but there is another one now here, so it is starting to stack up and create some AA on that northeastern side. Again, that does prevent air from just easily flying over top and going this way. They either have to go the other way or straight across the map, or kind of just, maybe kind of skirt the edge there, but it's not really worth it, because then Team 2 might see you. You might get shot at anyways. It's just not worth it. We do see there's one TMD here, but it wasn't within range to protect the Omni. That is unfortunate for Team 1. They lose out on their Omni sensor, not in the middle of the map, but it was a decent portion. It does look like they have another one online somewhere. Team 2 also has one online. Looks like, where's that Omni? It is a small map, to be fair. There it is. It's on the western edge of the map, hanging out. That is the breadth of Team 1's knowledge about Team 2. They had, I think, a little bit more again earlier, but it's gone now. It's no longer existing on this plane of existence, or at least that one. Forces are now pushing in to Jamaker's position. He has PD here. Apologies, not TMD. Probably needs some TMD. Oh, no, he does. Look at that. Jamaker has, again, gun missile T2 on board. The forces from Team 1 actually stop moving, allowing Team 2 to get some more pot shots into their forces from the PD. Strat Bomber gets immediately shot down without even a chance to drop a payload. And the other bombers go, that's not worth it. I'm falling back. Satellite is almost done for Roscoe. He's getting some SMDs now and some shielding. I like that he's getting it now, but should have built, at least started some sooner. Team 1, do you have any ideas about it? Only just made P-Gen, so that's definitely an old note. And we do see Team 1's force did fall back, so it does get a little bit more breathing room to Team 2 on that western front. Roscoe finishes that satellite. There's another experimental online somewhere. I would assume northern side. No, Millenwise finishes his. He's going to have a chicken. I thought there was another experimental online for somebody, but I guess not. Oh, no, there it is. There's the GC. I was going to say it's somewhere around here. We do see a couple of sniper bots in this mix. They might go after those cruisers, to be honest. They actually, I do like this. They spread them out a little bit. So it's not just, GC walks up, wipes them all out, calls it a day. There's a little bit more AA to the north. And kind of just spreads the love as it would be. We do see HoppeBoi pushing in. I don't think this is the best idea, considering there are some Othams here. He does have shield, so he's probably a little bit emboldened by that. Shield gets taken offline, and he goes, oh, yeah, that was not probably the best idea. But with GC nearby and a couple of overcharge shots, looks like it's enough cover. This, Roscoe says, Millenwise. ASF's moving immediately. Nice teamwork there. Nice call out from Millenwise as well, saying, hey, watch out, Strat Bombers. Looks like they found maybe a target. ASF's, some of them split off to go northeast. Looks like they were going after the transports. The transports were just a diversion, and they got shot essentially for no reason. ASFs catch them, but the ASFs do catch one of the bombers on the way out, and they catch a second one. Almost catch a second one. And looks like the ASFs behind those ones from Hirschy, like, ooh, opportunity. And Team 2 went, nope. No opportunity for you. Looks like the chicken went into the pond. He might go this way, I would imagine. Yep, that's exactly the way he's going. A little bit more efficient, but the same direction at the end of the day. Shielding coming online for at least a couple of players for Team 1, given the presence of that satellite. Looks like he's found a target to go after. It's only one satellite, so as long as you can build shielding within the pausing moment of recharging the laser, Yep, shield comes online at a perfect moment. Regen ore started here for Saipier. And is there another one? Yep, there is not another one. He's building SMD. He's actually significantly loading it. I don't know if he spots a nuke on Team 1 side of the map or something, but looks like he did take out a couple of PGens, so that's a little bit of a win for Team 2 in the air department there. Or, sorry, the low orbit realm for Team 2. Chicken online pushing southward to link up with these forces. Again, Percy's plus any experimental, including FAF is a really, really good combo. Especially the more DPS-focused ones like the GC and the chicken and whatnot. There's lots of Team D here from Team 1, but there's a lot of missiles for Team 2. And eventually they will crack that position. They just need to focus on one of the Team D at a time and just kind of go bit by bit by bit. But there's a lot of overlapping coverage, so good luck. But it does look like, oh, the shields are still fine, so it looks like it's just enough. T2 still going to be the thing here for Millenwise, not building in more units yet. I would be cautious about having Jamaker on the front line, especially being 31 minutes. Team 2 could drop to a 2v1 in favor for Team 1 in terms of, 2 comms to 1, and that being 4 to 2 technically. And Jamaker is going to retreat, but I think the retreating might happen a little too late. Chicken's already shooting at him, it looks like, underneath the shielding. Missiles inbound. The comm gets hit. Missile does miss. And here comes the shot. And there it goes. Team 2's Jamaker is eliminated by chicken fire, and that western front is not looking good. There's a lot of Percy fire soon to make its appearance. There's some AA in the back. That's a lot of cougar. That's a lot of cougars. That's a lot of big giant cats inbound. And AoE does help kill off a couple of Percys, so that's something, and damages the chicken. But there's not a lot of air-to-ground weaponry in the area that would be effective long-term because the AA in the area. He's probably wishing he had that satellite, which is actually coming back to intercept, so it looks like he is going to have that to assist. But this base to the western side is not going to live much longer. We have tons of PD trying to be built here from Millenwise to assist at least in some capacity. And that Optim is dead. Chicken is able to kind of shoot a little bit at these Team 1 PD. I thought it was T2, but it is T1. And the chicken goes, oh, look, there's some stuff to shoot at. Probably not the best idea to not focus on the PD emplacements, killing off all the engineers first. All the spy planes got ripped out of the sky, though. And that chicken is losing hit points. He is getting veterancy, though. That is the bigger thing of the two is, yeah, you lose maybe 8,000, but if you gain, 10,000, as an example, lose 8,000, gain 10,000, you're netting 2,000 and getting a little bit of regen out of it, so it's, again, actually pumping a little bit more blood through those veins as time goes on, as the veterancy goes up and up. About a wing of gunships is inbound. Looks like mostly AA is nowhere to be found. This base here for Team 2's Millenwise is no longer going to be with Team 2. It looks like it was Jamaker's old base. Old being the fact that he's no longer with Team 2 as well. And here come the ASFs. Another air fight. And it's going to be a sweep for Team 2. By the time the ASFs can retask on the new things, they're already almost dead. And that chicken is still causing havoc. 82,000 mass and climbing. 20,000 hit points remain, and he's at 500, excuse me. The Ravager spam is strong in the south. Nothing is going to get close to that air grid from Team 1, at least for now. Oh, look at that thing just ripping apart multiple Percys on the way out. Even the shots, because the Percys were kind of walking single file, were able to hit them after they were fired, just because it was just annihilating them. But the chicken goes eastward, now is going after this chunk of mexes and whatnot for Team 2, creating reclaim. The PD probably not going to be enough to stop it. And 14,000 in climbing. Targeting the mexes, again, definitely a good call. It could go after the PD, but, I mean, it's already at 121,000 mass killed. I mean, anything more than that, it's going to, like, morph into something else, like a YOLO. It just kind of evolves. There is a chicken here from Millenwise. Finally gets the last blood in, or last shot in. But look at this. 1, 2, 3 sets of mexes dead. Team 2's eco is thrashed. It's 1K at 750 in favor for Team 1. FAF Online having so much fun this game, says Hirschy. Didn't see the nuke, says Hoppy. There was a nuke? Where? You think you are having fun. I didn't see the nuke. Team 1 built a nuke somewhere? I don't see it anywhere. Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, it says didn't see if nuke. Didn't see if nuke. He probably meant didn't see a nuke is probably what he meant. Satellite transferred over to Millenwise. That's interesting. Don't know why Roscoe did that. If Team 2 loses another player, it's probably going to be game over for Team 2 because it is still a 4-2 game. It'd be a 4-1 game. There's the nuke. Okay, there is a nuke. I was looking for one. I'm like, what is going on? Didn't see if nuke, didn't see the nuke, didn't see a nuke, something. But there's the nuke from Team 2. Is there an SMD? There is. Is it loaded? No, it's not. And it's most likely targeting that air grid. That's been kind of a big issue. That and the land forces over here have been a big issue for Team 2. They're going to eliminate one of those immediately. Looks like they tried to go for the kill, maybe. But he's out of range. Kaboom! That's a huge chunk of that air grid. T3 air quarters was spared, luckily. Spared, luckily for Team 1. But he still loses a couple of mexes, all the P-gens, all the everything. What does that do to his power grid? He's getting some overflow from his teammates, luckily, but that is going to be a drain on Team 1's resources overall. You see a couple of stragglers from Team 1. They're going to be destroyed by these Othams here shortly. About a side order of them, I'd imagine. Nice helping of curly fries, I'd imagine. Or, some people like straight cut, some people like crinkle cut, some people like onion rings. I'm definitely a curly fry kind of guy. But I do enjoy a straight cut every now and again. Depends, though. Some straight cuts, not great. In and out. If you've ever had In and Out fries, those that live in the U.S. on the western side at least, they're not good. Nope, I am not a fan. The burgers are great, but the fries not so much. Did I even get... How did I even get vet? Oh, you killed 84,000 mass with that nuke. I mean, you did kill a lot of P-gens. 2 beefer and mexes. That's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. It looks like the air grid expansion is slowly happening. Maybe we'll see an artillery piece built right here underneath shield covers. There's a mobile one, technically, in the Fat Boy department. Second SMD also built. One of these loaded? Nope. Well, I'd rather have one SMD that is loaded than having 2 SMDs that isn't loaded. And this thing is not being heavily assisted, which means actually the SMDs might actually load before the nuke from Team 2 is ready to fire again. And looks like that's a little bit of some delayed action. Millenwise is like, oh, I have this now. That's right. I can use that to go after stuff. And GC over there to the west. 37 on the clock. Team 1 at 4 players left. They did lose their air grid, though, so take that into account. Team 2 has lost this base, and this base. Lots of dead eco for Team 2, but they did get a nice kill with the nuke, so they have a nuke that's loading and a satellite online. But Team 1 does have a lot of potential with their eco, so it just depends on if Team 2 can catch up, if Team 1 can utilize their advantage. And let me know down in the comments if you think is going to currently win this game. Of course, if you haven't, because you'd be crazy not to at this point, watching, 30-plus minutes in the video. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so very much for watching. And let's take a look at these cruisers that have fallen back because some of these looks like they got killed up there. 2,000 leagues, 20,000 leagues is a bio. Lots of bios for that. Lots of team. What's up with the Team 1 torp launchers? That's a lot of them. It's not just a couple of them. That is 57 of them. And I like the one over here in the middle pond, but that's a lot to just have there on the eastern side. I mean, it does kind of lock it down, but there's no pressure from the water from Team 1 anyways. So maybe he tried to build something else and built those torp launchers instead. I don't know, but with 2 Fat Boys on the eastern side plus the GC, those Othams are going to have a little bit of a hard time actually getting over there. They might as well just go this way, cut across the pond, use the pond to get over there, and kind of hide out and not get shot at. And a couple of the missiles are actually hitting the shielding on the Fatty. It's kind of back and forth. Oh, I thought I saw a redirect, but no, Team 2 has access to that. Team 1 does not. We have a Fat Boy inbound from Team 2. Don't let it get too close because there's one inbound from Team 1, and just number-wise, Team 1's going to win that fight any day of the week. Even if both Fat Boys are killed off, it kind of nullifies Team 2's defense. There's the second one coming online almost in the green already. No additional satellite. Usually, it's either one and done or everything. It's usually one or the other. It's never really, you know, only 2 or only 3. It's like, oh, I built 2. Oh, I could use another one. Oh, I built 3. I might as well have another one. And then there's 10 of them there. And you're like, okay, well, But FAF is almost dead here for Team 2. He's in the red now. He's not going to live much, man. There he goes. Yeah, pushed him too far forward and paid the price for it. There's another one online for Team 2, however. But that western side is definitely more of a weaker side for Team 2. Team 1's kind of been, again, hit on this eastern side. Chicken heavily damaged. He's not going to sneak by that chicken because they're right here. They can shoot a large range. You know, that's the range. The yellow is the range that they can shoot at, and that covers both entryways almost for the entire map. And second FAF online, building artillery. It's going to take a little bit to get all that online, but once they get it online, that FAF from Team 1 isn't getting anywhere. I think the main focus, honestly, is denying at least 1, if not 2 sets of those mexes. That way it keeps Team 2 lower on the totem pole for mass. And we have any other bigger surprises? Nuke is loaded. Team 1 loaded and loaded. And nothing loaded over there. And load. No, not loaded and not. Oh, it is loaded. That is unfortunate. Is Saipier teleporting? No, he's upgrading. I'm like, is he? No. He is not teleporting. That would have been very funny. It was like, I'm just going to teleport out before the nuke gets to me. But that didn't happen. Nuke is inbound. Nuke's going to get shot down. Oh. A little bit of anxiety for Saipier there for a second. Being like, don't kill me, SMD. I'm stuck in place. With his advanced nano regen, 45,000 hit points, and advanced ore regen as well. And FAF is going to now hide underneath some shielding and T2 artillery, which definitely a smart place to sit. Drives away the FAF from Team 1. That got hit severely, considering it did again have a shield. And the game is kind of slowed down, partially just because Team 1 is turtling up and Team 2 trying to, eco back up. But they have, again, those sets of mexes being down is hurting them considerably. Here comes some ASFs from Team 1. There's, I think, maybe a lot more ASFs online for Team 2. Maybe. I could do a head count here very briefly. HoppeBoi is at 30. I was reading 50. And then 90. Team 2, 150. So favor for Team 2, but not by a large margin. Just margin. Wow, I'm slurring my words today. Cannot speak. FAF is transferred over to Saipier. Another FAF inbound. I imagine it probably will stay over here. Authams are inbound. Team 1 knows it. And getting those defenses online. I am expensive. 1,000 flames. This is Sparta. You are an idiot. Mega turret. Killer. And Authams just single file lining it. And that's not looking well here for Team 2's attack. And missiles are raining in from the cruisers. Again, there's Team D in place, so that's not going to help. FAF going to shoot at the cruisers. Nice counter there. And the Authams are making their charge. They're still getting kind of held up by that little hill there. And it's not looking good for Team 2. They're going to get kind of actually destroyed just by that little bit of land there. And they wipe out a couple of defenses, but honestly, not a whole lot. Not worth all the mass devoted to all these Authams, 100%. GC's going to get veterancy. Now it's up to 2 stars. FAF are going to get veterancy as well. The PD emplacements are going to get veterancy. Some of them already at 3 stars. So doing, again, very, very well for themselves in that regard. And to see 3 chickens. 3 chickens online for Team 2. That's great, but you're kind of stuck to only... I mean, there's a couple of different apertures, to be honest, but you only need a couple of FAF to secure, 2 of them at the same time. This one sits here, you can cover both of them. And then there's 1 over here, 2 over here that covers this one and this one. So honestly, there's really no way for land experimentals to get to Team 1 side of the map without getting shot at by FAF the entire time. Speaking of getting shot at by FAF, Team 1 sending theirs in. And there's, again, a chunk of artillery here. FAF is not going to live much longer, maybe, for Team 1, but the point is to distract at least from this GC that's inbound. Now we have another Fat Boy online. Some gunships as well are inbound. Another shield going to be built here, at least just try to be built as fast as possible. There it goes, the GC. The Fat Boy did die from Team 1, so that's a little bit of firepower, but the shields are offline. That's going to come down to can they output as much damage as they can fast enough to kill off the Fat Boy, which honestly, yes, they did. The Ravagers helped out a ton because the Fat Boy kind of trundled into range a little bit, so that didn't help. And that western side is just getting beat up over here from Team 1. Nuke is inbound. Another Nuke from Team 2 is inbound for that position. Ooh. See, what he should have done, he should have fired that Nuke, had it land, and then have the Autumns come in to say hi roughly at the same time. So it's kind of a nice little 1-2 punch, but maybe he didn't have it loaded. Nuke is inbound. Honestly, very well placed Nuke, even if these forces were still moving. The Fat Boy probably won't die, maybe, but all of those Persties die. Kaboom! And kaboom! Looks like none of the Fat Boys of the GC died, but the base died at a bare minimum, so Eco is dead. Most of the TTO artillery underneath the shielding is gone. And another Fat Boy inbound. It's going to come down to, how much firepower can the Fat Boys output relative to one another. But, yeah, that one died. Strap bombers are not going to get out of there. That's a one-way trip there for them. Oh, no. They do get maybe a second chance. And again, shield is at, let's just say full shielding to make the math easier. They'll wipe out 15 of the 20,000, and then there'll be 17,000, so they'll need 2 more passes in total on top of that to be able to wipe it out entirely. Still nothing outbound from Roscoe. He's just building Fat Boys, trying to stay alive on that western front. But honestly, I think it's just a function of there's just not a lot of APM for Team 2 because it's been 4-2 for a while. I wouldn't be surprised if Team 1 has an artillery online or soon to be online. No? Satellite, but that's going to be a little bit ways off, though. I mean, they could have easily built one in the background, 100%. I just don't see why not. I mean, you've had so much time here and here, bar the nukes, of course. And Millenwise is up to 3 chickens. He's pulling the chickens back. Nukes are being assisted. This is up to 118,000. That one's at 50,000. That's the one that went up to the land forces. Did very well. Secondary fire opening up on the Fat Boys. You know it's bad when those little Gatling guns on the sides open up. There's just too much stuff nearby or anything within range. Sniper bots. It's too late, but you probably should have moved those. Strap bomber over the top hits one of its targets. Couple of AA emplacements in the water. Gonna kill off the ambassador. Excuse me. Apologies. Another strat. There goes one strat from the ASF ball. Another strat gonna die. That's 9,000 hit points chewed off just from those 3 strats. And then the rest of them are going to get chewed off by all of the Fat Boy fire. There's a lot of reclaim to be had on this map. Currently sitting at, I would assume, 250 at a bare minimum. Oh, wow. That's way less. I'm way underestimating this game at this point. Or overestimating how much. But to be fair, Team 2 scooped up 160. Team 1's at 124. So closing in on 300,000 reclaimed. We still have this GC and GC over here to the east. I guess the T1 torp launchers weren't a bad idea, I guess. And it looks like they're still sitting over here. It does kind of sort of open the door for the Fat Boys to come say hi from Team 1's HoppeBoi. And it's just, I don't know. It's just, like I said, one of those things where, the nukes are going to get loaded, but if he can kill off the Fat Boys, that'd be the biggest opening. But he still has these GCs to deal with. It's realistically been the eco disparity for the entirety of the game that's really kept Team 2 down. There's an SMD up here that might get hit. There's 2 more here. And there's 1 there and there. Satellite online for Team 1. That might be the beginning of the end for Team 2. Another chicken is online. 4-2 is in a big advantage, especially with the, again, diminishing returns on the hit points there. Another GC online, though. And as long as it stays underneath Fat Boy range, it's going to be more than enough to at least maybe get to the nuke, which is going to fire now. It's inbound for that position. Actually, they both fire simultaneously. Don't really see that often. And SMD is loaded. Oh, it's so close to being only one, but it got loaded twice. And since there's a little bit of a space, there's one, and there's the inevitable second one. Shot. Down. Twice in one game that's happened to the same player. Millenwise sees the end of the game is nigh. Trying to build some PD, trying to hold on. And yeah, just not great for Team 2 on the Eastern Front now. 3 Fat Boys. Millenwise control K's in his base right there on the right side of the screen. And with that, that's pretty much game. Satellite starting to pick apart the defenses for Team 2. Roscoe, he's going for artillery now. I mean, it's not going to save him at this point. I mean, he's going to get another nuke, but he also control K's right after. Anyways, that's the game here, folks. Team 1 had 1 death. It would have been very close to a flawless there with that 1 death, but, you know, sometimes you can't get that flawless victory. But, you know, Team 1 still won, regardless. And Team 2, I honestly think it was just a APM disparity because it was 42 for a while, and just the constant attacks on the Western Front kept the eco down for Team 2, and then they just couldn't recover. APM plus eco equals good luck. There were some promising plays from Millenwise. I think, again, had he waited for that nuke to fire and blow up the line of defense and then had the Othams come in after that or pretty darn close to it, then it maybe would have created a little bit more pressure, pulled some defenses off the front line here maybe. But this weaker side, this Western side was definitely the weaker side for Team 2, and it just got pushed hard. And look at that. The mexes weren't able to be grabbed once they were destroyed. These set were because they were a little bit further back, but not those two. So let me know down in the comments who you think deserves the MVP award for Team 1. I don't really have one. I think Saipier maybe because he just kept the pressure on that Western side. But I don't know. Let me know down in the comments who you would pick. Thanks so much for watching the very end of the video, and I will see all of you in the next one.